Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Matt, the Barking Bulldog, and welcome back to yet another video. So today, I said I was going to do the Rocket Man movie review for review number 5. You've seen my Watchdog report from about a week ago, but I decided to change gears and talk about Toy Story 4 because I just went and saw this movie about a few minutes ago, and I got some cool things to say about this movie that I think is really good about this movie. So sit back and let's get started. Okay, so Toy Story 4. Now, of course, this movie is the fourth film in the Toy Story saga, which honestly I have been a big fan of ever since I was a little kid. Come to fact that this movie really surprised me when he came out with his teaser trailer back in 2018. And or 2019, I'm sorry, in January. But the thing about the movie is it's just one of those movies that I think is pretty good. I mean, words that I can describe about this movie, it's three. One, it's simple. Two, it's clean. And three, it's perfect. So why I say that is because, well, with movies these days, of course, you're gonna have a lot of fallbacks. Take note of Secret Life of Pets 2, which honestly, this movie really had a lot of potential, but unfortunately, it couldn't make enough of a rank to. It couldn't pull rank for the movie. Now, Toy Story 4, this is very different because honestly, this movie was really well made, and it really is a good way for the Toy Story trilogy saga to end on a perfect note. So, one thing you gotta know is that, the movie will start off kind of slow. Go ahead and get prepped for that. Also, be prepared for some sort of action scenes, some mayhem scenes in there. Given its G rating, of course, that is really kind of the pick of the crop. But with Toy Story, you really got that idea that this movie's supposed to be family friendly, and of course it is. So check this out. If you haven't seen Toy Story like 1 through 3, haven't seen Toy Story 3, the good thing about this movie is it picks up right where Toy Story 3 leaves off, and basically the beginning of the movie is basically recapping what happened in Toy Story 3. So if you haven't seen that, then it'll pick up, it'll kind of catch you up to speed. So another thing about this movie that really is one of those movies that I think is really a fun way with this movie is, of course, the character everyone's talking about, and that is Porky. Now, when I saw this character for the first time, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, man. I gotta turn my fan. I've been in a hot theater for okay. So anyway, with the character Porky, he really is that kind of persona that I was not expecting. I mean, of course, Toy Story had to add in some new characters, and just a plain old fork. I mean, honestly, this is a good idea, and for it to be the main protagonist, and we don't really get to see him a lot in certain scenes, which that kind of makes sense. But in a way, that is a good way for this movie to go into itself because you got introduced to Porky in the beginning, and so on and so forth. Because yeah, it really is one of those movies that builds up. And then of course, what really struck my attention was the return of Bo Peep. So Bo Peep, I tell you, this is a pretty cool rendition of her. Like I remember watching Toy Story 1 in 1990 and back in the day, and of course Toy Story 2. So Toy Story 1 and Toy Story 2, we see Bo Peep. Toy Story 3 we don't, and now she comes back, and it's a happy reunion. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is a good way for Toy Story 4 to kind of pull in on itself, get Bo Peep into the picture, and that's how you become a movie that is really a critical acclaim. And if I'm gonna be honest with you, It's really well maintained. I mean, this movie really does a good job of telling Woody and Bo Peep's story through this sort of thing. Now, of course, um, and of course, you have the return of good old Buzz Lightyear and Rex and Mr. Potato Head and Ham. You got all the gang. But of course, let's not forget Woody and Buzz. Honestly, these two really make the movie worthwhile. And, you gotta enjoy these movies at least because if you don't have any sort of knowledge on the first three Toy Stories, chances are you're not going to get a good idea of what's happening in Toy Story 4. And another thing, the addition of course, the three characters I want to talk about is Duffy and Bunny, who are Keegan Michael Kay and Jordan Peele. So these two characters are kind of side characters we meet in the middle of the movie. And they're kind of a comic relief in this movie, given that Woody and Buzz are going through this sort of the comic relief themselves. Buzz does a few comic scenes, Woody does a little bit. But, it's a kind of a toss and turn situation. And then we get into New Kaboom, Keanu Reeves. Now, of course, Keanu Reeves has done John Wick, and it's a Fortnite meme, so don't go ahead and start spamming that button saying it's a Fortnite thing. Of course, it's good to see Keanu Reeves do something like this. I mean, honestly, he does a good job as Duke Kaboom, and he has a good story to himself, sort of like what Woody has. And of course, you know how I feel about Toy Story. Andy is the real child. But of course, we have Bonnie. And really, Bonnie is one of those characters that I think really is a good mood setter for the movie. I almost actually shed a few tears during the movie. It was just that good. Now, of course, Toy Story 4, if you've already heard from the interviews, from Good Morning America, the ending is pretty heartbreaking. But truly enough, this movie really has a lot of the magic and the imagination and the fantasy all rolled up into one. And of course, Toy Story really has that same element that has been used since 1995. So I was mind blown because this movie really was just that special to me. No doubt, if they kind of messed it up a little bit, then I would have been kind of mad. But honestly, they did perfectly with a few little changes. But still, I mean, the changes were not bad. Okay, I'll give you that. The changes are better than we had in Toy Story 3. This movie honestly really is a good way to end the Toy Story series and really is just a way to do it. But yeah, Toy Story 4. It's excellent. It's clean with a few little dark scenes here and there. But of course, the reason why they gave it G is because Toy Story has been in that G setting for the past few decades since 1995. You kind of understand where I'm going with this. But Toy Story 4, just undoubtedly a good movie worth the wait. If you really want to have a fun time, if you've got little kids, of course, they might not know what's going on, but you do. But here's my suggestion: if you grew up in the 1990s like I did, and you really love the Toy Story films, then this is a good way. This is a good one for you because honestly, this movie is just magnificent. I got nothing to say, so I'm gonna give this movie a perfect 10 out of 10. Just one thing though, if you do happen to take your kids, be prepared for some dark scenes and some kind of light terror scenes. But other than that, really good. And I also got to see it in 3D. If I didn't mention that at the beginning, I'm sorry. But Toy Story 4, again, it's a perfect 10. So, of course, it's going to be good. If you're an adult out there, you're going to love this. If you're a little kid, and maybe, but So that's my review for Toy Story 4. I will do Rocket Man next because I promised y'all to do that movie, but I've already went and saw it, so I have my review all ready to do for my next video. So if you guys like and enjoy this video, definitely leave a subscription down below. Like this video, comment what you want to see next. And there's a lot of cool other movies that I'm looking forward to. Lion King, Dora and Lost City of Gold. There's a lot of cool movies out there I can't wait to see. So thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.